It's The Local Show on News Radio 570 WSYR, a service of Gettys Federal Savings and Loan and Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show is locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. This is the 2023 pre-Christmas edition of The Local Show. I'm your host, Tom Soccocio Jr., along with my friend and co-host, Steve Roberts. The Local Show features conversations about local businesses. We talk with the business owners, CEOs, CFOs, entrepreneurs, nonprofits, business advocates, and other business-friendly organizations. We learn how they got into business and why they do business right here in Syracuse, New York, where their businesses might be going in the future, and you'll hear all about their successes, their challenges, opportunities, marketing, and advertising. Broadcasting from the Zoey Advertising Studios, sponsored by Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Gettys Federal Savings and Loan, we bring you The Local Show, otherwise known as the Steve Roberts Variety Show.
Oh my gosh, Tom!
So there you go.
You sound a little like Froggy on Little Rascals.
That's right.
You all right?
Yes, I've been stricken with the SRC,
which is
I don't know. That is SRVP.
I don't know.
No, I don't.
I before E.
It's just whatever they say is going around, right?
Yeah. So did the family get it, and the boy child, everybody, or just you?
No, just me.
Oh, well, you're
that's
special.
The way it goes. Yeah. And it's hung on for a mere week. Yeah. So every time you think you're getting better, and then you start talking to somebody, you feel worse.
Well, it's the season.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, my mother back in the day would just say, here, take some chicken soup, go lay down, and everything.
And shut up.
Now they say,
was she like suck it up, or which side was it?
Oh, she was more hardcore. Yeah. Tough love.
Yeah, Lori, she's Italian. In our office,
Yes.
You have to have a fever of at least 104, or you go to school.
Right.
She's tough.
Yeah, my mother used to say that.
Are you bleeding? No.
Okay. Unless you have a fever, you can't do anything. Yeah, my mother was pretty tough. It was a whole tough love thing. But I have a lozenge in my mouth, and we'll try and go from there and see if I can't get through stuff, okay? And when I'm not talking, then you can talk.
Great.
It just might sound nonsensical.
And drive listeners away.
So we got Dr. Nicole Anzalone up first. She's just with the ears. She's the ear part of the ear, nose, and throat.
There we go.
So it doesn't help me too much today. But she'll have some interesting information. Loris Rigdon is a physical therapist and owner of Onondaga Physical Therapy. John Kupperman is the owner of Smith Restaurant Supply. Stephanie Polano, owner of Blake Jewelers, will stop by. And then Joe Scripa, the owner of the Scripa Group, will talk real estate and property management. And Zacchio is the practice director of Nephrology Associates in Syracuse. Sean Dupree is the owner of Top Notch Roofing. And then Jenny Grayton is the executive director of Boys and Girls Club of Syracuse. We'll have a good conversation with her and see what they're doing during the holidays and the rest of the year. Right now, we say a hearty, healthy good morning to Dr. Nicole Anzalone. How are you?
Good morning.
She's like, I'm better than you.
Yeah.
How are you?
Well, she's used to dealing with sick kids, because she's got a family. And
yeah.
I can be one of your kids today. How's things going for you? You've been busy?
Busy time of year, for sure. Absolutely.
Well, it's been several years you've been with Zoey Advertising, and we talk every year about the, people coming home and recognizing that maybe some of their older family members are having trouble hearing them and all that. Is that kind of just a trend that happens during the holidays?
Pretty much. I mean, I guess this time of year, and this is probably why we're busy, a lot of people come in and say, I need to hear for the holidays. I need to hear before I go on vacation to Florida. We get a lot of snowbirds. So we are definitely inundated right now with patients trying to hear their families. So it's definitely an important time of year.
Am I the only one that has that their wife says to them, you need to go see Nicole? Probably.
Yeah.
Because somehow is it that I'm not listening, or is it that I'm not hearing? There's a little loss, and we've been on this road a little bit. There's a little loss. But I don't know that I'm ready to take action. But anybody Tom's age, my age, is going to have a little hearing loss, aren't they?
Not necessarily, actually.
Oh, really?
It is a little bit more common, but it's interesting because we see people of many different ages that have hearing loss due to several different reasons. It could be due to an illness. Sometimes there's sudden hearing loss where someone would suddenly notice a substantial change in their hearing, and that could be viral. Mm-hmm. Some viruses can get into the inner ear and attack it and cause hearing loss. There are some things that, that are genetic, some genetic disorders that can cause hearing loss. There are also a popular one is noise exposure. A lot of people are exposed to a lot of noise these days, loud music, having earbuds in their ears all the time, blasting the music. In industry, work-related noise exposure and recreational noise exposure, loud cars, shooting,
more
hunting.
men than women have hearing loss, or is that just
that
not
is true?
Is that because
true.
Tom and I, when we were young, would do loud things? Is it have to do with that, or
it has to do with work? A lot of men have more noisy jobs in industry than women. It may be changing a little bit, but definitely more men have hearing loss than women, but are a little less likely to do something about it, which is interesting.
There's nothing anatomically that would make men more susceptible to hearing loss, is there?
No.
Just not listening.
No.
Yeah, so I've been seeing a lot of commercials for these over-the-counter things.
I saw one the other night. $299 for a little tiny pair of things with an antenna. I don't know. And I thought about you, and I said, is that any good? It's just an amplifier. What is it?
Yeah, I mean, if the hearing aid does not know your hearing loss, then I don't consider it a hearing aid. It's just an amplifier. I think it's very important to have your hearing tested and the device fit to your hearing loss specifically. And it's a more precise way to be able to help you. Otherwise, you could be over amplified, under amplified. I had some people coming in with those devices that are like, I'm hearing worse with this in than out, or it just makes everything too noisy, or it whistles in their ears.
We were over at Bull and Bear earlier this week, and I was at a meeting with some people, and it was loud. So they had the music on, then they had the noises, and I couldn't hear. I heard everything, but I couldn't hear. Does that make any sense?
It was
Yes,
a cacophony,
absolutely.
of noise. Right?
And it was just like, and it was very frustrating. I asked him when I said, "Can you turn the music down a little bit?" I've become that guy. Hey, turn that thing down! I can't hear myself. I became that guy. But that's common, right?
That is very common. A lot of people, even if they have, especially if they have noise exposure, it becomes harder to turn down different sounds. Your nerves are, it becomes a little bit more difficult to turn down sounds. So everything sounds like the same volume. There's a part of your inner ear that actually controls and regulates and modulates sounds for you. But if you lose that ability, everything sounds the same. So that's part of the start of hearing loss as well.
So if somebody wants a full diagnostic from you, you're an audiologist and you have other audiologists. You have 2 locations. Tell us where the 2 locations are and the best way that people can hook up with you.
Yeah, so we have a location in Camillus and also in Fayetteville. So on the other, each side of Syracuse. Wherever side you're on.
East and west.
East and west, yeah. So, we come find us, Syracuse Hearing Solutions.com. You could check out what we do and what we can do for you. From ear cleanings to hearing aids, helping you hear.
Great.
Sounds like a plan.
All right. That's going to do it for Dr. Nicole Anzalone, owner of Syracuse Hearing Solutions, SyracuseHearingSolutions.com. I do like the website. There's a lot of information on there. So go to that today and get all hooked up. We've got Loris Rigdon coming up next, Steve. Physical therapist and owner of Onondaga Physical Therapy right here on the local show on 570 WSYR.
Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Gettys Federal Savings and Loan and Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve.
We're back at it, and that means you are too. Thank you for joining us on The Local Show right here on 570 WSYR. We're in the thick of the holidays. I know that because I saw Mr. Heat Miser and Snow Miser the other day on television. So.
And you got to watch those.
Yes, what a classic.
Yeah.
You know, the old family values and all that stuff. And
Oh, my
I think,
gosh. Love it.
Gosh, how can you not have nostalgia?
You just put the song in my head. Hi, Mr. Heat.
Yes.
I said, boom, you know?
You
right?
kind of remind me of Snow Miser, actually.
Well, you know.
You got the same look.
Same height. Actually, the abominable snowman, you know, that's me.
Yeah, it's very good. Very good. Hey, folks, on The Local Show here, we try to introduce you to new businesses or current businesses in the area and encourage you to do business here locally, especially during the holidays. We want you to get out there and spend your money local. And here's a local person who has some education and has a service that is needed for everybody, I guess. Loris Rigdon is the physical therapist and a owner of Onondaga Physical Therapy. How you doing there, Loris?
Doing well. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Well, thank you for being here. So physical therapist is different than just giving somebody a massage, right?
Very, very good.
Why don't you tell us what your background is and how you came to own this place?
Yeah, so I went to school in Pittsburgh to get my master's in physical therapy. It's when you talk about massage therapists or personal trainers, right? The education level is just so different.
Is it?
Since I've been to school, the new grads coming out now, they require doctorate degrees.
Oh, no kidding.
In order to be licensed PTs. So there's a lot of schooling that goes into it. For me, after I started working at the hospital, I realized the corporate structure and the roadblocks and the challenges that we had with that stuff. And it's still today, like we needed a walker on the floor, you know, a $50 walker just to help a patient in the hospital.
Yeah.
And we're sharing walkers.
Oh,
and
that's ridiculous.
It just got frustrating. And that's what led me to open my own business back in 2003. So we celebrated our 20-year anniversary this past summer. And have really grown since that one location. It was a one-man band when we started.
Right. And you were the bandee.
I was, yes.
The drum major, whatever they call that.
I had a cordless phone on my hip, all-in-one inkjet printer.
Nice.
A laptop, and we were in business. And
now what are we? How many locations? How many people?
now we have 8 locations, 50 plus employees across the company.
Wow. Is there one thing, physical therapy, you always hear people go, oh, I got to go to physical therapy. And I know you've never heard anybody say it with that tone before. There's a positive and kind of some negative stuff people think about it, right?
Yeah, I mean, some people look at it as, and have even called it pain and torture. PT is pain and torture instead of physical therapy. And there's some, I guess, truth to that depending on the condition that you're coming in for. Like if you've had surgery and your knee just isn't bending, sometimes we do have to inflict a little bit of pain.
You like that?
Right.
It's hard actually, right? Because you have this sweet lady laying on the table and she just is almost in tears, but it's the best thing for her and it's what you need to do. So there's that side of it, but then there's the other side, which is what the majority of the patients probably are, and they're coming to you in pain. So it isn't necessarily to cause pain, but it's to help reduce that pain.
You need movement, and that's no matter what surgery you have or anything, the first thing they want you to do is get up and move around.
Yeah, huge change, right? It used to be bed rest and laying in the hospital.
Right.
And now they're doing hip replacements, knee replacements, and they're hip today, home tomorrow. Yeah, it's really, really fast. So the mobility side is really, really important.
So do people come to you when they're well and maybe they didn't have a surgery and they just want to feel better? They want to get more mobility before maybe they're going to the gym and they're feeling sore, and you can help them with that, or?
So that's one of the frustrations of the profession is that it's rehabilitative. Okay. And in order to get insurances, if you're going through insurance to pay, you need to have kind of an injury or condition. Otherwise, they're not just going to pay you for performance.
So you need a referral from the P thing. Is that whole world still tangled? Because it used to be, well, you can't do this unless you get this.
That's changed a lot. New York State has what's called direct access, which means you can come see a physical therapist without a prescription. For 30 days, 10 visits, whichever comes first, and then you may need a referral. So you don't have to go that route, but a lot of people do, and that's how a lot of patients come to see us because their physicians want us.
Did you have a particular, like when you were younger, before you decided to be a physical therapist, were you into athletics? Was there a reason why you wanted to get into this?
I played a lot of sports in high school, but that's not really what led me to the profession. It was honestly a strange story. I was supposed to be an engineer and was going to go to school.
That's true. Okay. Okay.
That's great.
Yeah. And even in high school, in my senior year of high school, that was going to be the plan. And then there was a presentation done on up and coming professions, and someone brought up physical therapy, and it was just like that. The light went off. I said, what? No, I like math and science, but I said physical therapy. I just needed somebody to say it to me.
Right.
And I went home, and my dad thought I was crazy, and like, what are you doing?
Was your dad an engineer?
Of course.
Okay. Gee. Okay.
Are you a Syracuse native? Were you from around here?
Yeah. I grew up in Lafayette.
Oh, yeah.
So just spent the 5 years in Pittsburgh going to school, and then moved back, started at the hospital, and been here ever since. Love the area.
My wife and I are from the Valley over by Green Hills Farm. So
we spent many a times getting those donuts from Green Hills.
Listeners can check off that on Tom's bingo card from the Valley, Green Hills Farm. Look, you can put up little peg on that.
And I got to tell everybody how I used to snowmobile up in Lafayette and all that. Yep, sure.
Yeah, no, we never did the snowmobiling, but outdoor skiing for sure.
Yeah,
that was a family thing.
Sure. That's wonderful.
Now things can, as people get older, are there things that people can do physical therapy on their own that would make them less likely to hurt or have injury? Are there like things you can practice at home like for everybody, or is it?
Oh yeah. I mean, just today on our Facebook, there's the top 5 stretches to do in the morning.
Oh,
to
that's
get
wonderful.
Your day started.
Yeah, see, that's great.
So there's lots of preventative things that you can do. You just have to find what to do and the right things to do. And if you find the wrong things to do, you can make things worse than better. So it's getting the advice to get started and then continuing to follow through. One of the new things that we started this year is called remote therapeutic monitoring. So that means that you come in, we evaluate you, and sometimes you don't come back for a week maybe. And it gives us the chance for us to have physical therapists follow up with you. We can track your exercises, track your progress. You can message with us and let us know how you're progressing and if you have questions between sessions. And that really helps.
So people have pain, and that's probably what drives this, right? Of course. They don't have to jump through the hoops of getting referrals and things. They can contact Onondaga Physical Therapy. It's Onondaga APT. Is that correct?
Onondaga PT.
Onondaga, it's the Onondaga, yes. It's the way you put the slide the sayable. That's why Tom does these things. So OnondagaPT.com.
There you go.
Can they request an appointment there? Can they see information or call and ask questions?
They can do any of the above. They can request an appointment.
And you're everywhere, 7 locations.
8 locations all over.
Wonderful. Well, I think the thing worked out for you. Even better than the engineer.
You'd have made a lousy engineer. You have a personality.
That's Loris Rigdon right there. He's a physical therapist himself and owner of Onondaga Physical Therapy. Thank you for all you do and all your staff does.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
All right. Coming up next, we're going to talk with John Kupperman, knives and plates and forks and spoons, owner of Smith Restaurant Supply, right here on the local show on 570 WSYR. Stick around.
Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Gettys Federal Savings and Loan and Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve. Back
into it and back at it again. You found The Local Show with Tom and Steve. Happy holidays to all of you. We can officially say that because, here we are.
We can say Merry Christmas because we paid for the hour, Tom. We can actually say that and not get closed down.
Yeah, right.
Happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas. Yeah, we can say those things.
Sure. And all the rest of the things that go along with the season of joyousness. So speaking of joy, Geddes Federal Savings and Loan can make you happy because they still have good high rates on their CDs.
Good high rates on their loans. I go, I don't think that's very. No, no, they do.
No, and,
they do, and I think they're giddy with Christmas Joy helping folks out over there this time of year because people are pulling money out of the markets end of the year. Let me put it in a CD for a little bit.
Sure,
a lot of that going on, and you can do it right there at Geddes. So again, it's across from the hill. You can't slide down anymore into the parking lot because they put a snow fence up and ruined all our fun.
It looks pretty.
But get it at Geddes. Get it right here in town.
Mm-hmm. All right. This is the Tom and Steve Variety Show. I'm sucking on a lozenge because I've had the
Hokey Finoki
SRC or the RSVP, and no, I haven't really had anything other than a cold.
Then let someone else talk.
Yes, of course. John Kupperman's here with us. He's the owner of Smith Restaurant Supply. How are you, John?
Very fine, thanks.
Better than me. Maybe I should take some of your coffee beans.
That'll wake you up.
There's no healing properties. No, I thought there were healing properties to it. John, tell us. How are things going up at Smith? We're in the thick of the holidays. What are the trends? What do you see people buying a lot of?
A tremendous amount of bakeware right now. That is probably the leading category. That and cutlery, knives.
Oh yeah,
are the two.
Yeah. Because everybody's got dull knives.
So are bakeware and cookware the same thing?
No. Bakeware goes in the oven, cookware goes on top.
That's what I thought. So don't give me that look like I'm dumb.
Why should he be different than everyone else?
Well, I didn't know if it was like if you said, "Hey, you guys," when there were ladies. I didn't know if it was a general term for anything that you. All right, just stop looking at me that way. So,
but for me, it's second nature.
Okay, so people are baking.
Yeah, they are in a big way. They're baking for themselves, and they also give away things that they bake.
Okay,
to friends and family.
Right.
So,
and you have all that.
All that.
How about the pizza oven there that we talked about before?
The Uni, we're getting low on them.
Is that the number one? I've seen some knockoffs because they were like the original, weren't they?
Yeah, Uni is the
they
brand.
Are. They still are.
They are.
And what did you say that cooks at? What degree?
1,000.
Yeah. Because some of the other ones are like 700.
It's like insanely hot.
So how long does it take to cook a pizza?
Once it comes up to temperature, every minute you get a pizza.
Wow.
Now, doesn't that depend what toppings you put on there?
You've got to do a thin crust pizza.
Oh, it's got to be thin.
Yeah. You can't do a thick crust because it's so hot.
Right.
The inside of the dough wouldn't cook.
Yeah.
But once you get that oven going, it takes about 20 minutes to preheat. Literally every minute.
That's wonderful.
Pizza's coming out.
That seems like a nice Christmas present.
It would be.
So what is the official protocol for bringing knives in to Smith across from Texas Roadhouse? I never remember. To have them sharpened. Is there a way they should carry their knives and not carry their knives? Because we
safely wrap them.
Okay, tell us more.
In a towel or or in a bag or something, but don't come in handling them loose. Kind of willy-nilly.
Bad idea. So put them in something.
Put them in something so that they're safe.
And they can get those back in the next day or so, or how does that work?
If you bring them in between 9 to 2 weekdays, it's while you wait.
Oh, okay.
Otherwise, you might have to wait or you might have to leave them. But typically, we do them right then and there.
Do you ever look at someone's knife and go, we sell knives. I mean, how do you take some, I don't know, old, how do you do that without?
Every now and then somebody will, I don't typically volunteer that, but somebody will come up and they say, are these worth sharpening? And I'll give a fair assessment, yes or no. And every now and then they can literally hit the garbage can.
Okay.
They spent $5 buying it. And you're going to spend $4 and a quarter sharpening.
But a knife kit is a fabulous gift, I would imagine.
Yeah. Like we've said before, most people, use 3 or 4 knives, but a knife set is a wonderful gift. Yeah. And we sure have them.
Yeah. The block that has all the knives that go in it kind of creeps me out because you think if somebody had something on their knife and they stuck it in that hole, is it going to get bacteria? I mean, if it wasn't really clean, the thing I got from you, it stands right on. It's on a magnetic cutting board, but having it buried in there, just kind of creeps me out a little bit.
Yeah, most people don't clean out their knife blocks, and they should.
Right.
You should get.
I don't even know how you would do that. You can get down in there,
narrow brush, or just throw some water through it. But some knife blocks, they sit next to the stove, and they do get greasy and.
It's hard to clean up.
Yeah, hard to clean up. And you take a nice clean knife and you put it in a dirty block.
Do you sell utensils as well?
Oh, yeah.
Forks and knives and spoons?
Yep, sure do.
That's
both serving and eating. So
right.
Yeah. We're actually one of the few. The way we do our silverware is we call it open stock. So you can buy 5 teaspoons, 8 knives. You can do it.
Oh, that's nice.
You're not limited
easier,
to a set. That's the restaurant supply part of us. That everything is open like that. And we do that with china and glassware too. You don't have to buy a case of glasses.
Yeah.
We're one of the few that will open it up and you can buy individual glasses.
That's handy.
Good. Yeah.
So is you doing more of the restaurant supply or the consumer supply at this point?
I would say we're doing more consumer at this point. I mean, just a tremendous amount of homeowners. We do a lot of the pop-ups and small catering trucks as well. Independent operators. But I would say probably 60 to 70% are homeowners.
But you said, what do you have, like 20,000 products or some crazy number?
Easily, we're right around 20,000 individual SKUs.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, because I've been working on internet images, and I was shocked that there's about 20,000 images on the website. It's like insane.
How about people give coffee for Christmas? Is that
Sure do. Drink coffee. They serve coffee for Christmas and New Year's, and they're giving it as gift. And now is the perfect time because we're within that 2-week freshness window for coffee. When people were around Thanksgiving and they wanted to buy Christmas gifts, I was like, it's going to be stale by Christmas. So, but now
you like it really fresh. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's part of the success. I mean, you don't want to give stale coffee to somebody. It's like, but now we're in that 2-week window. So we roasted, we're going to roast pretty much every day this week now.
Wow.
Do you have one of the timers that I can put in turkey or the ham or?
Oh yeah.
Actually, here's some meat you don't want to mess up. So you go get your ribeye roast or something like that, man. You don't want to spend $150 on something and then ruin it.
Right. And the other trick is that when you get one of those thermometers, you set it about 15 degrees from where you want to finish. Because when you take it out of the oven, it still goes up. So if you set it for, let's say, 160 and then it goes to 175, you've ruined your the ribeye.
You just gave the secret to why everyone dries out chicken or turkey.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, hang on. Nope. Yeah. So it's like, pass the gravy because they dried it up.
When it comes out and rests, it goes up another 10 to 15
Do you
degrees.
have a couple different varieties? Or?
I've got about half a dozen different varieties.
Okay. Yeah, I have to come up and get one from you because I do not want to screw up.
Including Bluetooth.
I was only able to get 2 pounds, and it cost me like the veal.
Yeah.
It was wow. It was like $80.
Yeah.
Right. So you don't want to ruin
given
your investment in the food.
Smith, across from Texas Roadhouse, you're open a whole lot now, right?
Yeah, every day of the weekend. Actually, we're going to go a few extra hours over the weekend.
Okay, so get out there. Great place. If anybody eats or likes to cook, that's the place.
Absolutely.
See you at Smith.
If anybody eats.
It's optional.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Some people do.
Every now and then.
Stephanie Polano is coming up next. Stick around for her interview. She's the owner of Blake Jewelers over there in Town 5. We'll learn about her story and what she has over at the store on the local show on 570 WSYR.
Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Gettys Federal Savings and Loan and Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve.
And here we go. We're back again on the local show on 570 WSYR 106.9 FM. Also on YouTube, if you want to zip on over there, you can see what people look like. And it's kind of fun to, see the actual eye rolling and the.
I'm sporting a fine hat, Tom. Do you like it?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. And you got your Santa hat on there. Yes. If anyone looks like an elf, it's you.
I can see that you're impressed with it.
Yes.
He's a little tall for an
big
elf.
I know. Yeah. He's a mutated elf. That's what he is. There we go. Hey, it's our pleasure to bring back on the show Stephanie Polano. She's the owner of Blake Jewelers over there in Township 5. Township 5, of course, is that big land mass over there outside of Camillus where they have the big, huge Costco and the movie tavern. I'm going over to the movie tavern actually for Nicholas later today because it is his birthday. And it's not his birthday yet, but it'll be like next week. And he wanted to go see that new Willy Wonka movie.
Wow. You realize it's not going to be any fun because they took all the politically incorrect stuff out of it.
Well,
right?
and that's the thing. You watch the original Willy Wonka, which they had on during the week. You just can't improve on that.
Yes, right.
Gene Wilder and the gang, and why do another one? I just don't. It's like
make
with the Grinch.
Money.
Well,
they did it to make money.
The original Grinch, Boris Karloff, narrating that whole Dr. Seuss thing, right? And then you come out with two other Grinches, and they stink.
Yep.
Stink, stank, stunk.
And we went to the Christmas parade up in Baldwinsville a couple weeks ago. Jim Gosh, who's the manager of Wegmans Taft Road, my brother-in-law was a Grinch on the Wegmans.
Oh, was he really?
But we didn't know where it was coming. So everybody, there must have been 14 Grinches. Everybody, there was all these, is this him? No, that's not him. It's him. It's a very popular character.
Yes,
he was the best one, just to be clear.
That's funny. Well, Stephanie is not a Grinch at all.
No.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Tell us, about your place and how you got into the business of jewelry. That seems a very competitive thing.
It's very competitive.
What brought you to that?
There's a few things. I actually used to be a bench jeweler back in the day, so before she was even born.
Your
Tell
daughter.
me who she is for radio listeners.
Yes.
No, this is my daughter. This
Oh,
is
okay.
Lyra. She came to visit with us
Very
today.
nice.
Yeah.
Lyra's here.
Yes. How old are you? Are you 18?
I'm 10.
Oh, 10. Okay. Well, you look 18.
Yeah, she acts 18 too. Yeah, so I was a bench jeweler for a little while, and then I got, actually, the whole company laid everybody off, so that was the end of that.
So when you're a bench jeweler, what does that mean?
Well, it depends what kind of skill set you have. Some people will solder. Some people will set
So
stones.
you're actually making
you
jewelry.
can make the jewelry.
Okay,
But what
gotcha.
I used to do was actually the casting. So I'd wear the big moon suit and I would pour the metal.
Moon suit?
Yeah, no, you would. You had because the temperature in that room is over 100 degrees. So you have to wear
you
special.
actually have to smelt it?
So it's a foundry.
Yeah.
Smelt it. Okay.
That's what I used to do. Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you look like someone that would work there. You look more like the person that would show me and explain it.
I have a strange
okay.
skill set.
So how did that fast forward to Tom's questions to today?
Okay, so that was kind of a history of what I used to do, and then life happens.
Right.
And then I got into everything. I used to teach. I used to do retail. I don't know. I've done a lot of things. There's been so many things I've done. It doesn't matter. I even was in. I was in trade shows, and then I got laid off at trade shows and COVID, and then I came back to New York after because my family's up here with COVID, and then I ended up running into an old friend who is Blake.
Okay. Yeah.
And then he was in the jewelry business. He didn't have his store yet, and then he was just showing me the industry and how to get into it. And then I actually had my own brand for a little while, and until I opened the store, then we decided to merge brands. So that we could work together.
Right, and Township 5 did not have a jewelry store.
Did not.
Which seems because they have everything else over there, Tom, right? The theater, the Subway, Costco, you can,
A little of this and that, yeah.
I know. That's
So you
why-
had this passion for jewelry. It sounds like it was always kind of in the back of your head.
It was, yeah. It was funny
Yeah.
that I kind of did a full circle with it, that I used to make it and then did
Right.
literally everything else. And then I came back to it, but it's just a different, but in more of obviously a retail setting than
Yeah.
making it,
Well, what's unique about your store? Because there's quite a few jewelry stores around town. What's unique about yours?
There's a lot of things that are different. I think the biggest thing is that we're more of a tech-based company because we do a lot of sourcing to keep our pricing low. So depending on what metal you prefer, especially the higher, finer metals, we can get that at a lower place than just about anybody else.
Okay.
And we customize it too. The other thing too is that we focus on the middle class, so we have a lot of stainless steel, sterling silver, gold filled options in store, and it's all deeply discounted this holiday season. So if you don't want to spend a ton, but really have high quality metals, you know what I mean? We have that right in store now.
Very nice.
very tasteful stuff.
Right. Well,
Yeah, he would know.
Yeah, right. Every time I go to Judy would like these. Judy would like this. And no, very tasteful stuff.
So you do have a section for lower class, and then Steve was able to buy it.
Yeah,
Maybe.
But stainless steel, the stainless steel that I have, it's what's nice about that one is I wouldn't say lower class. It's a high quality metal for what it is. It's just so abundant and inexpensive, but it's a surgical grade, so it's safe for your skin.
But the $20 or $25 pair of earrings
wasn't that much even. I think
look like they
yours
would
was
be
18.
look like they would be $79 or $99. They have that
Yeah, that kind of quality.
Yeah, well, the ones that he picked out were rather large. They were kind of like Art Deco almost. They were very, I don't know, they were very fashionable.
Very Madonna.
Something, yes. Yeah.
So I have good
Madonna.
taste.
Very Lady Gaga.
He has good taste.
Very nice. And I noticed you had some Irish stuff over there, too.
I do.
And my wife's family from Ireland, I might look at those things.
Yeah, that's the Shanor collection, and we have a lot of Celtic stuff. It's all made in Ireland, which is really cool.
Really nice, yeah.
It's beautiful. And they actually have a promotion going on, and if you buy $150 worth of your stuff, then they give you a free Claudia necklace. So
wow.
you get some freebies with them. Yep.
Yeah,
very nice.
And you can park right next to the door, which is cool. Mm-hmm. I mean, if you go to the if you go downtown, no offense to the folks down, but you got to deal with that.
Or a mall, which is ridiculous.
Well, a mall. I mean, you know how much I love the mall, Tom.
Yes,
I don't love the mall at all.
Nobody loves the mall anymore.
But it's just a different experience. But
Different
you're
vibe.
right next to Subway, so that's I keep saying.
We are next to Subway, next to Petco, close to the movie theater. We're on that side facing Costco. So some people have had a hard time finding me. You know, even just yesterday, they're like, "Where are you in this plaza?" I'm like, "I'm next to Subway. I'm next." And there was a lady, she's like, "Yeah, I'm near Subway." I'm like, "No, I'm next to Subway, between Petco. There's like a little bit of a drive, but I am on that side facing Costco."
You're right on the corner too, so that you
right.
can't miss that. You know,
some people do. But
everybody going to the theater has to pass you. I mean, you know, at some point. Mm-hmm. So the thing about making your own jewelry, I don't understand that. So a couple can come in and actually design stuff with you, or
yeah, absolutely. And so we're actually getting more programs to do customized silver and stainless steel too. But right now, for anything gold or higher, we customize. So if you wanted a necklace and you wanted to put like I don't know, sapphires in it, you know, we can make that happen. You can pick out your settings, you can pick out your stones. It's really fun.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, we have a touch screen. You were in there the other day. I don't know if you really saw it though, but there's a
I
touch
didn't look
screen,
at it closely.
and it accesses a huge database of all of the pieces that we have from multiple vendors.
Well, that's kind of cool.
And then we kind of like piecemeal it, so you can pick these stones with that setting, or you can have that stone with this setting. It doesn't really matter, but we can make it happen.
But you don't have to wear the balloon suit and schmelt it yourself.
Not this time.
Okay,
no.
good.
Nope.
So Lyra, come here real quick. Come here. Go over to your mom's mic real quick and say, "Hey, come see my mom at the jewelry store." Go on, get close.
Come see my mom at Blake Jewelers.
There we go.
Yeah,
there we go. Thank you very much.
That'll draw them right in. All right.
I won't, but she will.
Thank you so much, Stephanie Polano, right there, owner of Blake Jewelers. We'll talk to you later, okay?
Thank you.
All right, kicking off hour number 2 of the local show, we're going to have a conversation with Joe Scripa, owner of the Scripa Group, real estate and property management, and Zacchio is a practice director of Nephrology Associates of Syracuse. Sean Dupree, the owner of Top Notch Roofing, and Jenny Grayton is the executive director of Boys and Girls Club right here in Syracuse. So stick around. Hour number 2 is starting real soon.
It's The Local Show on News Radio 570 WSYR, a service of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Gettys Federal Savings and Loan. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show is locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, your hosts, Tom and Steve.
And we're back. This is hour number 2 of the local show. Thank you for joining us. If you're just joining us, where the heck have you been for a while, huh? Get ready for engaging interviews with Joe Scripa. He's the owner of the Scripa Group, real estate and property management, and Zacchio is the practice director of Nephrology Associates of Syracuse. Sean Dupree stops by. He's the owner of Top Notch Roofing. And then Jenny Grayton is the executive director of Boys and Girls Club of Syracuse. All in hour number 2 on the local show. Now we say hello to a local celebrity and all-around great guy. Here's Joe Scripa, owner of the Scripa Group. How are you there,
He's
Joe?
too busy texting, Tom. He doesn't have time for us. He's like, over here working away. You remind me of somebody that might be related to you.
That's pretty good. Yes. I remind me of someone that might be related.
Okay.
Yes. I have a lot in common with my brother and brothers.
Yes.
How many brothers do you have?
I have 3 brothers.
Oh, no kidding.
Yes.
Were you the runt of the litter, or were you?
Yes, I am the youngest. My oldest brother, Frank.
Okay.
Many people know Frank. Burdick
I don't
Lincoln.
know him.
Everybody knows Frank.
Does he sell for Burdick?
Loves Frank.
Oh.
You don't know Frank?
Yeah, no.
Oh, okay.
But does he still work for Burdick Lincoln?
Yeah, and everybody loves Frank.
You're kidding. I would have gone over there because we wanted a Lincoln.
Oh, here you go. Now you missed
Yeah.
out. Okay, you missed out on an experience.
Well, maybe in the spring, if my wife can make any money.
Because it is an experience when you deal with us people.
Yeah. Okay, so Frank's over there.
Frank,
Yep, and-
my brother Jay, he works with me. He's retired.
Okay.
My brother Larry, we've done work together in real estate.
Yes, okay, yeah.
Yep. And then there's
Larry-
little old me.
Larry was the only one I was aware of. But,
Larry's the only one Larry's aware of, too.
that's
That went out to you, Larry.
No sisters at all, huh?
No.
Are your parents still alive, or?
My mom is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep, my mom is.
That's great. So she's got the 4 boys doting on her.
Oh, she gets doted.
That's wonderful.
Yep.
Joe, you're full Italian, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Is there any place to get fish, schmelts, or anything for Christmas around here?
Probably the Fish Cove, right? Or
Well, they'll sell them to me raw, because I don't want them cooked.
You know what? Wegmans and DeWitt.
Really?
If
I
all
didn't
else
know
fails,
that.
Wegmans and DeWitt.
Yeah, I should try that and
They got a
see.
big fish department there.
Yeah. Maybe your brother-in-law could hook me up with
Wegmans,
with them.
if they can make money on it, they'll sell it. So
Right? Mums, we
it'll
love.
be fresh, it'll be great, and you'll pay for it.
Yeah, I thought Spares was going to get them for me, but they can't. They can give me my veal and stuff.
I would try Wegmans and DeWitt.
Okay.
I could try to catch some. Where's it run?
Yeah, I don't know where the smelts run. They're tiny.
They're
You
like a
gotta
sardine, right?
Yeah, they're a little bigger. Yeah, sure. 4
Skinny
inches.
Atlas Lake.
Never-
Skinny Atlas Lake.
Never
Lake
never
Ontario.
had them.
Oh, it's an Italian thing. Yeah.
Well, I'm never good
That
at being
and the-
Italian.
the bacala.
Little mini fried fish, right?
Yeah, I love it. Every Christmas. Okay, anyway, so back to real estate.
Real estate.
So you're a real estate mogul. You sell commercial real estate. You're very good in that space, as well as property management. How many buildings do you have under your belt at this point?
We have about 500,000 square feet under management right now, which is comprised of maybe 10 buildings or 12 buildings.
Sounds like a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of keeping track of things. It's a lot of, I'm not a mogul. I would say we make moguls.
Okay,
Yes.
gotcha.
We do the things right to help people's businesses or real estate business or real property flourish and make them into moguls.
Yeah. And it's so important, and there's so many rules and ever-changing rules.
A lot of rules, a lot of responsibility. One of those things is leasing. So we're leasing specialists. We do a lot of leasing of commercial real estate.
Yeah.
Recently, we're looking at moving a little bit towards. It's a form of commercial real estate in residential, which is apartment complexes or townhome communities where we would be managing some of those.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't someone go right to, XYZ company put their shingle outside? If I buy direct from them, I'm going to save a lot of money.
Well, the truth is that when a lot of people do go directly to the company that's on the sign.
Right.
And there's a little bit of buyer beware to that, because in real estate, everybody should have a fair shake and be represented on one side or the other. So if somebody comes to me and it's my sign or my listing, that means my loyalty is to my owner, not to the buyer, right?
Makes sense, yeah.
So it's just representation. So a lot of people, I spoke to a very big investor yesterday, and he's shopping, calling all the signs directly, and I think to myself, you'd be better served having one of your other brokers call me so that we.
Well, it's kind of like the ad agency model, Tom. People say, "Well, I'm going to buy direct," and they try they go to the different organizations that do it, media organizations, and they try to put something together, and they actually end up paying more. There's no cohesiveness to it.
It's not necessarily the savings. Yeah. It's added protections. I say people should be represented, and we welcome all the other companies in town to work with them and what we call co-broke with them.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah.
If you have an apartment complex, right, one of those living areas, and somebody like Steve makes application, do you take somebody like Steve?
Absolutely not.
That's what I thought.
Absolutely.
Do you really check references?
Yeah,
You have
for
to,
real.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Any more with technology? Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
it's
pretty
so
cool.
easy. It's so.
But
easy.
can it be discrimination? Seriously though, how do you say no without saying no and not get in trouble?
Well,
that you said no.
Well, you'd be a direct no.
Yeah, it's easy with you. You're too tall. You don't fit under the door.
Right, there you go. There's a height limit.
No, but the application process these days is a little bit different. With technology, we can find out anything, and we can do it all online.
Yeah,
and we
yeah.
use all those systems to pre-qualify people and make sure that we're getting.
Can't have any deadbeats in there.
Yeah.
So now, when you look at the local economy here, and you see how many buildings are available and how many people have interest in buildings, and you're trying to put new businesses in places, does that tell you that the economy's booming? Do you see a boom coming? Are you feeling it?
Most consumers say, or somebody's starting a business or wanting to move a business, there's plenty of real estate available everywhere because they see signs.
Yeah.
Well, the fact is, most of that stuff right now, we have a very limited availability of real estate. You see a sign on a building because people want leads right now. They want somebody to call them so they've got some work to do.
Sure.
Our business is a little bit different because we manage a lot of properties. If we have a lease expiration coming up, we're trying to lease it ahead of time, so there's not an empty.
And you might look for a building that doesn't have a big shingle out front, where somebody
Correct.
says, "Hey, I need this."
We'll go approach the owner.
So
That's
make deals that don't exist. Is that fair?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So we have a building that we're really, really promoting. We call it the Lakeside Business Center. It's over by the fairgrounds. It's a former BOCES building. We set it up like a business incubator. Small businesses, it has a grease trap. So if you have a specialty business, you're making food or something like that, a caterer, it's a great building. We have a clean room use in there. We can put clean room uses in it.
And I know Micron hasn't kicked in fully, but give us the 10-second update.
The 10-second update is hopefully they announce something soon about their funding, from the government.
Okay.
There you go.
And more people start to believe in it and all that.
ScripaGroup.com, blah, blah. ScripaGroup.com, blah, blah. 452-1200 if you want to talk to the man.
Yes, very nice. And you clean out your mailbox.
Oh,
right, so
goodness,
make sure that
yes.
people can call you.
That's right.
Very nice. Okay, coming up next, we're going to talk with Ann Zacchio. She's a practice director of Nephrology Associates of Syracuse. She'll be here live on the local show, 570 WSYR.
Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Geddes Federal Savings and Loan. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Welcome back and welcome in. This is the Local Show Holiday Edition in full swing. Steve has a party hat on, a Santa hat. You can see him on YouTube at Zoey Advertising. Just look it up and you'll see all our guests and the way that we do the show. And you'll see that I have these great arm gestures and things like a typical Italian.
It's an Italian thing.
I push it all the way around. But I learned not to hit the mic. In the old days when I started in broadcasting, they would have the mic come down and I would hit the mic all the time with my hands. It was
So you're as graceful as I am?
Yes. Yeah. Well, back then, sure. Well, anyway, the Local Show, where we introduce you to different businesses around town. A lot of people in the medical field, too. We do have a great medical community, in my opinion. Now, this is just my observation.
Well, you have
within
everything
Syracuse.
wrong with you, so if anybody knows it would be you.
That's right.
Hypochondria.com, you would know.
Even stuff that I don't have, I have.
I know.
I tell you.
It makes you the expert.
I like to just watch the commercials and say, I got that. The kid, Nicholas has gotten to say that now. There'll be a commercial playing about, something, and he'll go, Dad, you have that, don't you? And I go, yep, that's me.
They're like, ovulation problems, that's Tom. Everything. You name it, he's got it.
I got it. Female, male, everything. All right. Well, we've got Ann Zacchio here right now. She is the practice director of Nephrology Associates of Syracuse. How are you, Ann?
Very good. Thank you. Happy to be here.
Thank you for being here. You have lots of things by your name, initials and stuff, so I'm thinking you're pretty important. You've got MBA. Is that an MBA, like Master's in Business Administration?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so that's a normal one that I know.
What's a fact pie?
Yeah, FACMPE. That's it.
So that stands for myself being a fellow in the American College of Medical Practice Executives.
Wow.
And to attain that certification years ago, back in 2016, I was pursuing my fellowship through MGMA, which is Medical Group Management Association.
Yeah.
And you actually have to write a dissertation, a paper.
Wow.
And also you have to take 2 exams and pass that.
You're educated.
So
You're pretty smart. What college did you go to?
I went to Union College in Schenectady, New York.
Yeah, that's a big college for medical, right? Or
it's really a liberal arts.
Yeah, okay. I wasn't sure if that was more medical based or.
Well,
or
my
what.
other claim to fame, Tom, though,
Yes.
is that I am from Pulaski, New York.
I forgot that, yeah.
Yes.
What theater? The Calet Theater's
The
up there.
Calet Theater. Yes, that's where I saw Olivia Newton-John and John Travolta as
No
part
kidding.
of Grease. I actually went with my mother.
That's wild.
Do you have photos of salmon that you personally caught that you could show us?
No, I wasn't a salmon fisherman, but we
Okay.
certainly saw that seasonal
That's
impact
wild.
on the small town.
Nice. Okay, so then what brought you, what did you do before nephrology? Where were you?
Before at Nephrology Associates at
Yeah.
Syracuse, I worked in health insurance. I worked for Excelis, Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Okay.
And through a series of different mergers and acquisitions, I worked with doctors. So I was
Okay.
in provider relations and contracting and assisting doctors to solve their claims issues and other types of questions. And I did, we would do annual provider seminars to help train doctors' office staff of how to work best with the plan.
Did you have to take special courses in de-escalation? Because I would imagine things get pretty heated in that line of work.
It was certainly a great opportunity, and yes, and working through computer challenges, that can be very frustrating in our claim systems. But no, it was really a pleasure because I got to meet with so many different people in different areas. We covered really about, at that time, 8 counties in upstate New York. So
Wow.
I did some traveling, and no, I think the biggest thing was, meeting with people, being very responsive, and getting to the root cause of what their problems were.
Yeah, somebody always has a challenge with insurances and everything.
Right.
So then you decided to get over to a practice and now enter nephrology. What is Nephrology Associates? What's their claim to fame?
Yeah, so Nephrology Associates of Syracuse is a private practice kidney care specialist. A lot of people don't understand what is nephrology, how do you spell nephrology.
Yes, that's a good one.
Nephrology really is all things focused on the kidney.
How many F's in nephrology?
There are no F's.
I didn't know there was going to be a spelling.
I did that for Tom.
Yeah, right.
So kidneys are pretty important.
Yes. The kidneys are very important, and actually before I had joined this group, I really didn't know much about kidney care and everything. The kidneys help to regulate many functions in the human body. So those areas really would be in terms of blood pressure, fluid level in the body, and it affects many different organs, filtrating waste from the body, fluid retention. And also individuals that are most prone to kidney types of disease would be people that may have diabetes, pre-diabetes, heart disease. And there's also a small component of people that also may have a family history, such as if they've had a family member that's had either a kidney transplant or the family member's been on dialysis.
So private practice affiliated with a hospital, more than one hospital? How does that work?
Thanks for asking, Steve. So our physicians have privileges at both Crouse Hospital and St. Joseph's Hospital in Syracuse.
Meaning they can park near the door? What does that mean exactly?
Well, they should get special parking. Just kidding. And so should I if I have to go there for a meeting.
There we go.
But no, so they have privileges. So we take care of patients who arrive at Krause either through the ER or St. Joe's, and also they may be admitted, so inpatient admissions, and we consult with those cases, and we follow those patients that have kidney care
Okay,
needs.
so if those hospitals, if somebody has kidney issues or challenges, you guys are the ones.
Right. So I probably should step back, and because typically we want to be more proactive and have more focus on preventing hospital ER visits and hospital admissions. So our office, yes, Nephrology Associates of Syracuse is a private practice. So the way that our patients come to us is that they are referred by a primary care physician or provider.
Okay.
And again, it is based on the patient's lab results. So really kidney disease can be a silent disease, like somewhat like hypertension or blood pressure.
Yeah.
So we receive patients' referrals from primary care providers, and the only way to diagnose kidney disease is through the results of blood and urine tests.
I was going to ask.
Go real quick. Is there a way that you can take care of your kidneys?
Yes, there's many things, and actually, that's an important question. If you go on the website of the National Kidney Foundation.org, there's a quick link that you can actually assess your risk for kidney disease, and it will go through your questions, and it will say age, your gender. It'll ask about, do you have high blood pressure? Do you have diabetes? Are you pre-diabetic? It will go into your age, gender, race, and then it will give you a result for that.
So
and then
kidney challenges, we've got professionals right here in town. They don't have to go anywhere else.
And let me ask you really quickly, too, how much of your practice deals with dialysis?
We have patients, again, the goal is to prevent kidney decline. And the important thing with Nephrology Associates of Syracuse is that we follow our patients very closely, because chronic kidney disease, when it's well managed and well in control, the goal is that we don't want the patient to progress. Okay. But what dialysis is, that means at that point, the patient's kidney function has come to a state where they either have to artificially have a dialysis at a dialysis unit, or they may, another option would be to seek a kidney transplant.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you very much. Ann Zacchio right there, a wealth of knowledge, and she's the practice director of Nephrology Associates. Go to nephrologysyracuse.com, nephrologysyracuse.com, and you can see the whole team over there of doctors and all that, and make an appointment over there and say hello to Ann if you got to go over there. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. Coming up next, we're going to talk with Sean Dupree. He's the owner of Top Notch Roofing right here on The Local Show on 570 WSYR. Stick around.
Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Geddes Federal Savings and Loan. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve.
We're back again, and that means you are too. Welcome to The Local Show. Glad you had some time to spend with us, whether you have us on in the background or the foreground. We do appreciate it. Make sure you check out the YouTube channel. You can see us at Zoey Advertising. Just look up Zoey Advertising. You'll see all the videos over there. Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts has been a big proponent of the show for a while. Tell the people what Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts does.
They protect your home and life savings, Tom.
That's pretty awesome.
And it sounds complicated. It's really not when they do it. It's a pretty simple process.
I think you understand it pretty well.
I do understand it.
And if you understand it,
there we go. That's a very.
That means the average Cocker Spaniel can understand it.
That's a very good point.
That's very good.
And people think that a will protects their stuff. A will doesn't protect your stuff. And then many people our age maybe did a will a long time ago. Well, things have changed.
Sure. Yeah.
And it's time to update it. They're just very competent, very trustworthy folks. If you haven't done it, have the conversation. They're case managers. You can call, ask questions. 370-9977. 370-9977. Or, of course, safeharborwillsandtrust.com, Tom.
You got it. Sean Dupree is with us right now. He's the owner of Top Notch Roofing. TopNotchRoofingCNY.com. TopNotchRoofingCNY.com. I think you have something to do with roofs, right?
We do.
It seems very roofy.
You get up right up on there, huh? And now, nobody can get a roof done in the wintertime, can they?
Sure you can.
No, get out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really?
Yeah, we'll roof right through the winter as long as we got a decent day to do it.
No kidding. And will you pull off, like if you have to take off the plywood, you'll still do that?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah, if it's nice out, we'll do it. We'll do it start to finish.
It's all timing, right?
My old house, my Cape was made for ice dams. It was like the water would get cut and then the gutter would back up.
Sure.
And that doesn't mean you need a roof, does it?
No. Insulation.
Okay.
Yeah, more insulation. You don't do any of the insulation part, do you? No. So you're all on the exterior and on the top part. So if somebody has a leak, they look up and they say, geez, what's that big water stain doing? You'll come in and diagnose?
Yeah, we can. We'll come in, diagnose it, and see what we can do to fix it. A lot of times you end up, the roof's just in bad shape, and more times than not, it's time to replace it.
Right.
Unless there was some sort of damage, like a tree fell, hit the roof, damage the spot, and then you can go in and repair that spot.
So how long does a roof usually last? What's the average time?
So newer roofs today, the new technology is always advancing, and it is in the construction industry as well. Our shingles come with lifetime limited warranties.
What is lifetime limited? Lifetime
that
limited.
Scares me when you say
what
limited.
Is a lifetime limited? What
limited
does that mean?
to what?
Yeah, so the shingle, the shingle itself is warranted for 50 years,
unless it rains. So what's the terms and conditions on that?
Yeah, so the shingle itself is warranted for 50 years, not to break down to the point where it's not effective anymore. So in the product that we use, we actually have a 25-year warranty on the shingle itself and the labor.
Okay.
We're above the industry with the product that we use compared to a lot of other companies. So we use the whole system that our shingle manufacturer provides for us, and using that system, which is from everything from the deck up to the shingles, we get 25 years, 100% replacement cost. Something happens to the shingle, it breaks down, it blows off. We come in, the rep comes out from our shingle manufacturer. They diagnose it and they say, yes, this falls under category of full replacement.
So it's not like, okay, well, you're 22 years in, so you've used 90% of your thing.
Correct.
So here's $45 that'll cover the shingles. We're sorry.
It's not
go get it done. So
it's not prorated.
That was the word I was trying. Prorated. It's not there, Tom. Prorated.
Okay,
That's what we were going to say.
Yep.
So it's kind of all or nothing
for 25 years.
Who else does that? Anybody?
I can't say. I don't know. I just know that that's what we do.
Okay, I never heard of that. I mean,
and the labor as well. So that means, unfortunately, if there was a leak. Correct. Or something like that after you did this beautiful roof and it looked great, but I was getting a leak, you would still come out under warranty,
yeah.
and take care of things.
Yeah, but if it's a defect in the product, it's 100% covered under warranty. If it's an application issue, that falls back on me. The 25-year non-prorated warranty is actually through the shingle manufacturer.
Okay.
So that warranty falls back to the shingle manufacturer. Labor, a labor issue alone falls back to me as the company, right? So we would cover that cost.
So there's good, better, best roofs, though, right?
Absolutely.
So is it, if you buy only a good, should you buy only a good or should you buy a better shingle?
Well, it all comes down to budget, right? I mean, do you plan on living there for the rest of your life? Are you going to be there 30 years? And if somebody else has to replace it, it doesn't matter.
Right.
To you, it's, that responsibility would would flow over to the new owner.
It feels like there's like 712 roofing companies in Syracuse, and you see other signs and other things, and it looks like they all keep pretty busy. We talked about this a little bit last time you were on, and you took the high road. You said, you know what? I don't know a lot about them. Here's what I know. We're going to give you a fair price, and people they care about price, but it really has to do with the service and the warranty. So you kind of back that up.
For sure.
But there are a lot of roofing companies.
There are a lot of roofing companies in Syracuse.
Yeah.
There's a lot of houses. There's a lot of old houses, and there's a lot of houses that need roofs. I mean, if you drive around and take a look, right, with all the roofing companies there are in Syracuse, you can still drive down any road and pick out 10 houses that need a roof.
Yeah, some of the houses, and my wife's in real estate, and, we've gone to look at some homes, and gosh, the moss and the muck, and you go, when did these people ever change the roof? Yeah. It's horrible the way people live.
Right, and the siding gets nasty.
Yeah, right,
and dirty. And you do some stuff in that space too, right?
We do. We do exterior cleaning in that space as well.
So it's like I call it house washing because that sounds. So basically, you wash the house.
Yep. Yeah, we come in with our wash setup, and we can wash the exterior of the house, and we also warranty that as well for 3 years.
Good golly!
Wait, how do you warranty dirt?
We don't warranty dirt. Any organic growth.
Okay, so if they do have a little mold or a little whatever kind of mold, that's what doesn't come back.
Correct.
Or you stand behind.
That's what we stand behind. Yeah, we can't control dirt, right?
Right.
Road dust, all that kind of stuff. Wind's going to obviously move dirt around. Sure. We can't say that 3 years your house isn't going to get dirty with dirt, but we do guarantee no organic growth.
Good. Do you have a variety of colors? Is there one standard? Like, should shingles always be black or what?
No. There's a huge palette of colors that you can choose from.
What's the difference between a regular shingle and an architectural shingle?
Well, really, an architectural shingle is more a regular shingle today. Because it's really the most common thing that's used. Back 20 years ago, we used to use 3-in-1 tab shingles.
Okay.
Which is just a flat shingle. It doesn't have that profile on the top of it.
Right. Okay.
So really, your architecture, your best shingles.
Yeah. So Top Notch Roofing CNY. That's a mouthful.
It is.
TopNotchRoofingCNY.com. They can go there, get the information, call you, fill out a form, whatever the heck it is.
And even though it's winter, they can get a hold of you and you'll do a job.
Right. So why wait till, if you can do it, do it.
Yep.
Yeah. Now might be the best time.
For sure.
All right. Hey, thank you so much. That's Sean Dupree right there. And he's the owner of Top Notch Roofing, TopNotchRoofingCNY.com. You have a great holiday, okay?
Thanks. You guys do the same. I appreciate you guys.
Awesome. Jenny Grayton's coming up next, Executive Director of Boys and Girls Club of Syracuse, right here on the local show on 570 WSYR.
Welcome back to The Local Show, a service of Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Geddes Federal Savings and Loan. The Local Show, featuring conversations with business owners, employees, and local business leaders about their successes, challenges, and reasons for doing business right here in Central New York. The Local Show, locally produced by Zoey Advertising. Now, here are your hosts, Tom and Steve.
Welcome back. We appreciate your company here on The Local Show on 570 WSYR, 106.9 FM. We're broadcasting from the Zoey Advertising Studios, sponsored by Safe Harbor Wills and Trusts and Geddes Federal Savings and Loan. And, of course, on YouTube, you can view us and see what all the guests look like and what Steve looks like in his goofy little hat.
It's a pretty big hat, actually.
Yeah, that's wonderful.
Why don't you wear one?
Have you ever, because I don't like hats. No, I really don't, because I still have a head of hair, and I want to, celebrate that.
What are you saying?
That you don't have hair, and you should cover it up. In
My head gets cold. Okay.
Some of your best pictures are you with a hat on and a mask during COVID. I thought that was a very good look for you.
Well, now you have to get used to at least half of it.
Yeah, exactly.
You could do the hat and a Grinch.
Yeah, there we go.
Yes, we were talking about the Grinch being very popular this year. Seems like people go in the opposite direction of happiness. They want Grinchiness.
Yeah, it's right up your alley.
Absolutely. I think I'd be happy with that. It's good to bring back Jenny Grayton, and she is the Executive Director of Boys and Girls Club of Syracuse. And you can see them online at BGC Syracuse, BGC, and then the word Syracuse.org. So go see the website if you want to follow along and all that. I did get the name right? Great.
You did. Good job. Good
yes.
job. Thank you. Well, thank you for having me back.
Excellent.
Well, we were
desperate. We needed a filler.
Our guests weren't filling out, so we said, who can we call?
Thanks for filling it out
Jenny.
for us.
She doesn't have anything to do.
Now, if I recall, on our last get-together, you weren't from Syracuse, right? You're not homegrown.
Well, I wasn't born here. My father was military, Air Force.
Okay.
So, but I mean, I've been here since I was 8 years old. So,
that's
10
a long
years
time.
Like 30 years, yeah.
Yeah. Was he part of the 174th or?
No, I don't even know what he was.
You knew he flew planes or something.
Well,
or
he
was a kid.
He worked the radar.
Oh, radar guy, yeah.
So,
very nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so you came here. Where'd you go to high school?
Liverpool.
Liverpool girl, okay.
Can't call them the Warriors, they're changing that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that was something else.
Yes, yeah. I was going to make some offer. I was going to suggest some things, but I would have just gotten in trouble.
Yep.
Now, did you marry somebody local or?
Yeah. Well, he's from Chittenango.
Oh, yeah,
so
that's
Madison
local
County,
enough.
Not
Yeah,
too far.
sure.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, good. And what's your husband do?
He is a teacher in Oneida.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, I used to run that radio station out there, Mix 106 in Oneida.
Yeah.
Used to have all those.
And then they
people on.
closed because he ran that radio station.
I ran it right out of
They
business.
sold it. They're like, hey, we can make more money selling it to a not-for-profit than having him run it. So there they go.
And then Steve hired me as a cleaner, and I worked my way up to this. So that's where I'm at. Okay, so were you in nonprofits all your professional career or what?
Not my entire professional career, but for the last 13 years, I've been in the nonprofit field. So working with the homeless population and now with youth, but always been working with at-risk. For whatever reason, it's the at-risk population. If it's adults, children, whatever that may be.
You are a helper. Look at you.
You know, I wanted to fix people when I was a teenager, and I realized it was better off to do it in my professional world than my personal.
Yeah, well, I think it takes a special person to be able to do that. Boys and Girls Club, I just don't know anything about them. Why don't you tell me?
So the Boys and Girls Clubs of Syracuse is an after-school program for school-age children, 5 up to graduation. We provide programming that focuses on character and leadership development, academic support, as well as healthy lifestyles, living healthy lifestyles.
Wow, that sounds like something Steve should go to on a regular basis.
I never. So
beyond the cap.
I never, growing up in the suburbs.
Yeah.
And things. Boys and Girls Club sounds like fun.
Never.
I don't know.
I didn't know
like
what
girls.
They did.
Yeah.
But okay. But I didn't realize the hole that they fill. With some at-risk folks, kids, and families, and how they create I'll call it a safe environment because I don't know what else to call it, where they can grow and mature with some adult supervision.
Well, see, one of the things, number one for us is safety and really being able to provide that safe environment. So our kids come, we get them, they're off the streets and they're in our clubs. And then while they're there, we're able to provide them with quality programming.
Can
that really helps
any
them.
kid go? Any student or?
Yeah.
Okay, from any school district.
Yeah, it's predominantly kids in the neighborhoods that the clubs are in. We have 3 clubs throughout the community. But
where are they located?
So our Shawnard Street Club is over on the west side.
On Shawnard Street,
I would imagine.
And that's where I just came from.
Okay.
And East Fayette Club, and that's on East Fayette Street.
We're
Not too far away
There's a
from
bit
Shawnard
of
Street.
well, now I'm going to, the third one is our Central Village Club on Van Buren.
Oh, so that's way out there.
Yeah, that's over on the south side. So we have the south side, the east side, and the west side.
Oh, yeah, not in Van Buren, on Van Buren.
Van Buren
Road.
Yeah, see, we wanted to throw you for a monkey wrench here.
So you support kids what ages? Where does this go from?
5, school age, 5 years old to graduation. I don't want to say 18 because not everybody graduates at 18. So they come into our programs. They can stay there. Our kids that are up to 12 can stay there till 6 in the evening, and the teens can stay till 8 unless we have specialized programming. Our Shawnard Street Club is for teens only. Our East Fayette is all ages, all school age, and our Central Village location is up to 12 years old.
That sounds like you got some wonderful programs for these students.
We do.
Why wouldn't you have one in the burbs?
That is a good question. I know that the boys, so here's history on the Boys and Girls Clubs. We have been in this community since 1892.
Oh, my.
Yeah, long time.
Yeah, that's a long time.
And, they've gone through a lot of different transitions, going from one building to multiple clubs, to having multiple clubs and also having school sites, being within the schools, to right now where we have 3 clubs. So they've gone through a lot of ups and downs. I think the suburbs, it's interesting because we have like the YMCA, great organization, but we have a lot of the YMCAs that are in the suburbs, and the Boys and Girls Clubs has been specifically in the city of Syracuse. But we would never turn anybody away if they came from Liverpool.
Maybe just economics. The need is greater in the city, and the kids are more concentrated in the city. Is that fair?
See, this is the thing with the Boys and Girls Clubs. Our mission, it's, being able to, oh gosh, no.
Help children.
Edit,
Help,
please.
help.
Edit, please. Okay. So
the mission is to help kids. And right, and I know that.
And it's really being able to help the ones that need us the most.
The most, yeah.
They need us the most. I can't determine if one child needs me the most based on where he lives.
Right. At least we shouldn't judge. Yeah, we shouldn't judge.
I grew up in Liverpool. Trust me, I needed a Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah. Oh, did you? Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
So how many kids? How many kids are we helping on a monthly, weekly basis?
So we serve 600 plus on an annual basis, and probably for each club, I would say we're around 75 to 100 on a daily.
Well, I know that at the Boys and Girls Club website, I know that you take donations.
Yes.
You're a not-for-profit organization that helps lots of kids.
Yes.
And we're glad you're in the community.
Thank you so much.
Jenny Grayton, thank you so much. Executive Director of Boys and Girls Club in Syracuse. Have a great holiday, okay?
Thanks, you too.
All right. That's going to wrap things up. Steve, I got to go figure out what chewed through my wires and put my Christmas decorations back.
Have a good time, Clark Griswold.
Yes, exactly. On behalf of Zoey Advertising and Tom and Steve and the local show, God bless you and your families. Take a walk today and every day with a family member, a family?
A family.
Yeah, okay. Let's go with a friend or a family member. And it keeps the weight down and the mind clear. The local show is heard every Saturday morning from 11 to 1, and then again on Sunday morning from 7 to 9. Listen together with a friend. Until next week, get down to business and keep doing business locally. Tell your friends about the local show right here on 570 WSYR, 106.9 FM, the iHeartRadio app, and on YouTube at Zoey Advertising.